Oh yeah. There is nothing like a drop shot to catch him. It's not just a deep water technique. I mean, I'm using it right now in about 6-8 foot of water, just up on a flat. I mean, there's not a rig that I've got that gives my bait more action. Shake your little worm and he's gonna eat it. That's a nice one. You know, I've got just a little 1/4 ounce drop weight on there right now. I got a little number 2 hook, and I've just got a straight-tailed worm, just nose hooked through there. That has unbelievable action in the water. I missed him. I missed him again. Got him. Oh, man. Just not for deep water. I mean, there's nothing that limits it. You just kind of shake it along. And in clear water like this, I'm going to use it on spinning equipment. But in dirtier water, you know, you don't be afraid to throw heavier line and heavier tackle. You know, I like the control that I get with a spinning rod in the feel. With that drop shot, to me, it's just almost a must to use fluorocarbon. The fluorocarbon gives you the sensitivity that you need. It gives you the sink rate, and especially when the water's clear like this, the fish just can't see it. When you look right now, the sky is high and bright. There's not a ripple out here. Water's crystal clear, and I'm catching big smallmouth. All I'm using today is a little number 2 drop shot hook, and I'm fishing it rigged exposed. And it's important to make sure that the hook is standing straight up. So you always want to go from the point side when you're tying it, and not just tie a Palomar knot with a lot of extra line, and that'll give you your leader. But for like what I'm doing here, when I'm casting this bait out and dragging it, I want a short leader. That way, as I'm pulling it along, that bait is just above the bottom. So I like the long cylinder shaped weight there. It pulls through the vegetation or thick rocks a lot better. If I'm just fishing clean bottom, there's nothing better than tungsten. One thing I've really learned though this past season in fishing this bait a lot is that you got to use a sinker heavy enough to keep good bottom contact. You know, if you're not hitting the bottom with a 1/4 ounce, then you want to, you know, put on a 3/8 and just keep moving up in weight until you get good bottom contact. I usually fish it with my finger right on the line, and when you get a strike on it, you'll feel that strike, and don't set the hook right away. You just want to reel and let the rod load. This little needle sharp hook will hook them up every single time if you don't jerk. The key on a good drop shot rod though is having one that has a fast tapering tip to it. I like one with a little backbone because a lot of times I'm making real long casts and things with it, but the tip itself is pretty soft. And most of the bend in this rod is going to be in the first third. There's a lot of different baits you can use on a drop shot, but I can tell you my favorite without a doubt is just a 4-inch 3X finesse worm. This one's made by Strike King. Just nose hook it like that and it just quivers like uncontrollable. Another good way to rig it is wacky style, where you can hook it right in the middle, and it has a tremendous amount of action that way too. A tube is another one of my favorites. Anytime that I think that they're really feeding on bait fish, you know, shad, perch, things like that, I'll use a tube. As long as there's not a lot of cover that you're fishing, this exposed hook is the way to go. If it's thicker, go ahead and do the same thing and rig it with a Texas rig. There's not a lot to it. Just tie on a hook, put on a drop shot weight, put your favorite bait on there, got it, and you're in business.